What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV here, back here for another match preview. Last game of the season, away to Crystal Palace, who are on a great streak of 7 losses in a row. Obviously, only to be done wrong by Tottenham Hotspur this weekend. Everyone seems to break their ducks against Tottenham Hotspur. I got Slav with me. How are you feeling about the game this weekend?
I mean, you just sort of really summed it up there. I think it's something like 8 straight defeats. I don't think they've scored a goal or something like that, or they've scored very little goals. And obviously, we visit them on Sunday, and it's most likely not going to be. I mean, if we look at the way you've just described it, it's not going to be an enjoyable trip. But hopefully, Jose sorts that out, and we sort of pile on their misery. Looking forward to one last game of this interesting, yet kind of awful season.
Yeah, it has been an awful season, but the last 3 games have given us hope to go into next season. I think we've got a bit of momentum now. Are you confident going into next season?
I think if we get the players in that we need and the positions that we need, then yeah, absolutely. There's no reason why we can't be. If we can get a defensive midfielder and a right back in, if we can really improve the key areas that we need to improve, then there's absolutely no reason we can't be confident going into next season. And I think especially Sunday's game in a way is sort of important. You want to win. You want to end the season on a high. You want to go off on your summer holidays essentially happy and in a good mood, and then come back in the same sort of headspace, ready to work again and ready to sort of essentially make that next step and start winning things under Jose.
Yeah, and we've still got something to play for. We need to finish above Wolves if we want to guarantee that Europa League spot for next season, because if we don't finish above Wolves, Arsenal can win the FA Cup and knock us out of it, and we definitely don't want that. If we want to be out the Europa League, we want it on our own terms. We don't want to bloody have it on the Gooners' terms.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. And also, I just think it's also just personal pride. You never really want to lose a game of football. You just want to. It's the last game of the season. All right, there's no fans there, but it's sort of like an opportunity to say, look, we might not have had the best season, but we're here and we're ready. We want to challenge next season. We want to be up there. We really want to be in that top 4 next year.
Moving on to the game, obviously, like we mentioned before, I think Palace have lost their last 7-8 games on the trot. I don't know if you saw, but after their last game, Roy Hodgson kept them locked in a room for ages and was berating them. Does that make you worry a bit going into the game this weekend?
Oh yeah. Although I do think that if we can just like it's just the basics, just keep it tight, and we've got the quality to attack them and to score goals. They'll be without a couple of players. They had Sheku Kiyate at centre back the other night, so they'll have their fair share of injuries. I really fancy Sonny up against Joe Ward. I fancy Harry Kane up against the defenders. And I fancy Lucas Moura or Bergwijn, whoever it is, down the right-hand side at the moment. So I actually am quite confident going into this game, but I think you and I both, as Spurs fans, will know that doesn't really mean anything. And Palace are a good side at Selhurst Park. They are, and they may have lost 8 in a row, but they've got good players. They've got dangerous players. Obviously, Zaha, Jordan Ayew, Benteke suspended, and obviously in midfield, Milivojevic, etc. So they've got some good players. And it's not going to be easy. There's no easy game in the Premier League. And hopefully they just need to go. It's sort of the same as the last couple of games, Newcastle and Leicester. You've got to go out and get the job done.
Yeah. And, I think it's a case of if we keep our defence tight, like we have done pretty much every game since lockdown, apart from that Sheffield United game, I think we should be taking 3 points from this, no problems, really. When you look at the defensive shape and lineup that Palace are going to have out, Sakho's out, Cahill's out. They got a lot of defensive players out, which have probably been the reason why they had such a good first half of the season, because they weren't conceding any goals. But now, with their defence out injured, it should be a straightforward win. Really should. Are you expecting Spurs to name an unchanged side again?
Yep. I think it will be unchanged. I think Eric Dyer's ban now over?
Yeah, back.
So you wouldn't be surprised if maybe he came back in, or there was a change out wide. But they would have, by the time the game comes around on Sunday, they would have had a week's rest, or a week since they last played. So I really wouldn't be surprised if it was unchanged again. Delhi, I think, might come back into the squad.
What's going on with Delhi? He's been on the brink of coming back for like 3-4 weeks now.
I don't think he fits Jose's system at the moment, personally, and I don't think he is a Jose player. It's really difficult. He's such a difficult one to sort of pick out. Is he good enough? Honestly, it sort of leaves you speechless in a way, because it's like you don't know if he's good enough. Essentially, he scores all the big goals, but he's not the Delhi we had 2 years ago.
Yeah, but the same argument could have been said about Harry Kane.
But Jose wants to play on the counter attack, right? And Delhi, if you have Delhi on the counter attack, how many times have we seen this season and last season? He slows everything down. He chops back and he slows it down. It's just painful. And if we got a good bid for him this summer, would you consider selling him?
I don't know. I mean, when Jose first came into the club, he was our best player for those first 3-4 weeks. If you remember, he's the one the first one to knuckle down. He was our talisman, scoring our goals, assisting. He was really good those first 3 or 4 weeks under Jose. And then I don't know what happened. I don't know if it was an injury or something, but the guy's 24 years old and it seems like he's got knackered hamstrings already.
Knackered hamstrings, not really interested on not really. When was the last time he did something really special or did something really effective?
Old Trafford, that was a pretty special goal.
Yeah, I mean, that was December.
Yeah.
So it's inconsistency. I think that's the frustrating part. And it's inconsistent. That's the thing. That's the problem with Spurs as well. Over the years, we've always been so inconsistent in terms of when it comes down to it, we fail. And he's been a part of that. It's a really difficult one with Delhi. And going into Sunday, I don't think he won't start on Sunday. And we'll have to see if he comes if he comes off the bench and he slows everything down. I think it sort of sums up what we just said. I don't think he suits the Jose system. If you want to play fluid counter-attacking football, he's got to drive forward with the ball, not chop back onto his right foot and just play a simple pass out wide or take 300 touches. It's weird. Delhi does the special things. He does the difficult things really well. But the easy things, he makes a mess of it. So,
but that's Delhi. He can have a quiet game for 90 minutes, slow the game down for 90 minutes, but then he'll come up with that goal and assist.
Pop up with that big header or a great strike, whatever it might be. You're right. So it's a really, really difficult one on him, and I'm really undecided on whether he should go, whether he should stay, let alone be in the team. I'm really not sure.
When you're looking forward to next season, you're looking at the positions we need: central defensive midfielder, potentially definitely a right back,
definitely a right back,
definitely a right back, potentially
a centre back.
Yeah, potentially a centre back and a left back, and a sub striker. The talk is about Pierre Højbjerg. It looks like we're going to get that one over the line. It looks like he's going to decide to join us over Everton. Is he the player we want? Because I've seen a lot of polarized opinion, a lot of them saying he's not good enough for us, a lot of them saying he's exactly the player we need. What are your thoughts on him?
I think you should always give a player a chance when they join. He obviously came through at Bayern Munich. He's done really well at Southampton. He was their captain for the majority of the time, up until
still
recently.
Young as well.
Still young. And I think, I can't remember what stat it was. There was a stat where he was ranked first for most balls intercepted, I think. And I think that's exactly what we need. I think he's exactly what we need. He's got Prem experience. He's a leader. He's vocal, and he's Danish, so we can have a new Danish prince. So I don't think it should be a negative reaction if he does join. I think he can be a really good signing. Absolutely, he was wanted by Pep. So I think if we get I'm quite looking forward to seeing him in a Spurs shirt. I think he'd be a really good signing. And when it comes into the big games where you need a leader and you need a strong midfield man, I think he can be the one.
And right back, who would you go for? Do you think Max Aarons is the one?
No. Max Aarons is certainly not the one. They finished bottom of the league. He's small. He's not physical enough. No assists, no goals. Can't defend. Not for me, personally.
Yeah, but you can't. I don't think you can use them finishing bottom of the league as an argument, because look at Liverpool. They took Robertson from Hull, who also went down.
Yeah, I know, but I've watched him a number of times watching Norwich. He's not good enough. Do you think he's good enough?
I mean, I haven't seen him much this season. I've seen him when he's played against Spurs, and I've been quite impressed with him against us. But I haven't seen him enough. I haven't seen him enough. But everyone's looked impressive against us.
Yeah, I was about to say, how many times have we made a player look good?
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of better options out there. Personally.
Who?
Nelson Semedo at Barcelona. He won't be too. He can't cost too much. He's not their first choice. You've really put me on the spot here in terms of who.
Well, look. What do you think about Kyle Walker-Peters?
Again, he had his chance at Spurs. How many?
Do you think he's given enough chance? He was given enough of a chance.
How many chances do you need to be given?
He was never given a consistent run in the side, though.
But I think it's pointless talking about him because I think the Højbjerg deal will be part of the Kyle Walker-Peters deal.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So I don't think it's worth talking about. I don't think he'll be here next season. I think he has done really well down there at Southampton.
Yeah, apart from against Man United when it looked like there was a ghost that just went past him.
Yeah. But on the whole, he's done quite well down there. I know they like him at Southampton. All the Southampton fans rave about him. But in terms of right backs out there, you've really put me in the spot of trying to think. But there's got to be some better right backs than Max Aaron's out there, personally.
And when you're looking at the centre back, obviously when Jose first came in, we thought we were desperate for a centre back. Now we got resurgent Toby Alderweireld, Davinson Sanchez, who's come on leaps and bounds, I think, since Jose has come. Eric Dyer as well, who seemed to have turned a corner. Do we still need another centre back? Obviously, Japhet Tanganga as well.
Yeah, and we've got Carter Vickers obviously to come back, who's I think more or less just kept Luton Town up on his own.
He smashed it over there, didn't he?
Defensively, I think since he's come into their team, they've sort of they looked certain to go down, and they've somehow stayed up with him at centre back. So
there was scenes in the Championship last night.
Exactly, there could be an argument for him to stay and get a chance. I don't think we actually need to sign a big, like a mega money centre half. Maybe the Korean centre half who's playing in the Chinese league could be a good signing.
So when you're actually thinking about it, we don't actually have to spend that much money this summer. I mean, the defensive mid Højbjerg is not going to cost that much, and we'll throw in Walker-Peters in the deal. Centre back, like you said, we don't need to spend that much money. If we do sign the South Korean lad, it's going to be 15 million or so. Yeah. And then that leaves us with a sub striker and a right back. I mean, the sub striker is not going to cost that much money, and it's just the right back where we really need to invest because that's the position.
Exactly. So that sort of gives us maybe a license to go and spend 30 odd million pounds on a right back to sort of do what
if we have it.
What City did and spend big on a right back when they brought Kyle Walker and João Cancelo.
Would you take Trippier back?
No, but I actually would take João Cancelo from Man City. He doesn't really get much game time. And I think he's a really good right back. So he could be another option. It's a shame I saw Nathan Ferguson went to Crystal Palace, actually. Yeah. Again, he could have been one that we could have got. I quite liked him at West Brom. But there must be some options out there. And I think if we, like you said, if we get these positions sorted, absolutely. Confidence for next season, really, really positive. And we were 14th when Jose took over. We're now potentially going to finish 6th, provided we get the job done Sunday and Chelsea help us out.
Exactly, we help them out, so it's only right that they help us out.
So look, there's absolutely no reason to be not confident going into next season.
All right, and lastly, score prediction. Another 1-0 at Selhurst Park?
Yeah, I was literally took the word. Yeah, I'm actually going to go 1-0 at Selhurst Park.
Yeah.
No.
We don't have Ericsson to score that last-minute screamer.
I'm going to go 2-0.
2-0. Who's going to score?
Harry will get... Harry... I really think Son will score up against
Harry and Son.
Yeah. Kane and Son, and I think we'll get the job done. And yeah, I mean, there's no Ericsson for a last-minute screamer, and there's not going to be no Juan Foyth for a winner either. So,
do you reckon Jan Vertonghen will get any couple of minutes to sign off his Spurs career?
We'll have to see. It's a shame he didn't get them on the last weekend, but Jose, no room for sentiment.
Yeah, that is, yeah. Well, look, the way the season's gone, and that's damn right. I mean, as long as we get a result, I don't really care. I think you've got
If
to
we were
commend
sitting
Jan
pretty in
Vertonghen.
third or fourth with nothing really to worry about, maybe. But we've had a terrible season. I just want to get this over with now. Jan, thank you. I mean, yeah, Jan, thank you very much. Great servant. Unfortunately, we didn't win anything.
Yeah, I mean, I hope they bring him back just to parade outside.
I hope he comes back as a coach.
Fans. Oh yeah, that as well. But anyway, I'm going 1-0 Spurs. I think it's going to be a lot tighter than previous Palace games, because I think Palace are going to up their game for this one, just because the way Roy Hodgson looked like to grill into them after that last game. So I'm going to go 1-0.
Yeah, last game of the season at home.
Exactly.
So yeah, they'll be up for it as well. It will be a difficult game. It won't be easy.
Yeah, so I'm going 1-0. Slav's going 2-0. Let me know your score predictions in the comment section below. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.